we are going to talk about the most amazing thing with this solar eclipse, but we're going to compare it to the natal chart of the United States of America. So this is just too freaky to make up. So I am going to share the screen right now, right here. And here it is right here. So if you could see this arrow, let's pay very close attention to the ascendant of the United States of America, 5:10 p.m. I did a little research on that, and that is the consensus that I found. However, it is going to be 12 degrees, Sagittarius, 21 minutes. That is the ascendant. The sun, of course, is in Cancer, 29. It's a 13 degrees Cancer, 19 minutes in the 8th house. Also, let's take a look at the moon down here in Aquarius. Yes, emotionally, we love our freedom. It's right here. And home and family and feeding people is very important. That's where we shine. We also have Jupiter and Venus there. So of course, we have been known for abundance, because this is Jupiter, abundance, Venus, love, luxury. It's all here between the 7th and the 8th house of its chart. Also, a lot of energy goes into communication and education. And the top of its chart is Libra. It's all about justice, fairness, relationships, diplomacy, etc., etc. And that's just a rough sketch. Okay. Now, I want you all to pay attention to the 12 degrees, 21 minutes. After looking at this a few times, I realized, I said, wait a minute, this sounds familiar. But look, it's the same numbers, 1, 2, 2, 1, right? Yeah. Okay. So what's going to happen on December 4th? Let me show you what's happening December 4th that everyone's talking about. It's talking about the solar eclipse. And that is when you have, or we have the new moon. But wait till you see the exact degrees. I couldn't believe it. I had to double check it a few times before I ran with this, because I wanted to make sure that I wasn't making a mistake. So bear with me as I move the moon and the sun on the left part of the screen here to get it to where it's the same degree. And that is when the exact new moon is, when it's exactly conjunct. Precision. Okay, watch. So here we go. And we're moving along. And now the sun is 12 degrees. Now we're waiting for the moon to be 12 degrees to match the sun. And seems to be coming. Okay. So and we're going to shoot it down to the minutes. So we're exact. Okay. Now watch this. 12 degrees, Sagittarius, 21 minutes. It is exactly on the United States natal chart's ascendant. The sun, the moon, and the ascendant. So what is that going to mean? On December 4th, 2021 at 2:41 or almost 2:42 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that's Philadelphia. So I'm going to go over, I mean, is that too freaky for you? 12, 1, 2, and it's all 1 and 2. So I'm going to give you a little bit of my knowledge on just what the planets mean just what the houses mean. So you have a good understanding, and then you figure it out and you tell me what you think is going to happen. And I want you to look at this. This is Pluto, 27 degrees Capricorn. And now we're approaching a Pluto return, which means Pluto is going to come to the exact position of where Pluto was at the moment the United States was born. This is going to be intense, and that's another video because we can't cover it all. And I want you to get a clear understanding that I'm just focusing on the solar eclipse, which will last for 6 months. But see all this spider webbing with the red and the blue and the green. These are all aspects to other planets on the charts that give us an even more detailed understanding. But I think it's interesting, like Mars, which is aggression and fighting, is 21 degrees and 22 minutes in Gemini. So that might have to do with communication of some sort. I'm just kind of looking at the synchronicities here. Then we have the ascendant, 18 degrees Libra, 43 minutes and only 1 minute apart from the part of fortune, which is where the joy, prosperity, and success is. In the 10th house, our career, the United States' career, all right, our social status. So let's go and see what is the meaning of the first house. The first house is very important because that's our identity right here, okay? That is who we are. It's our vitality. It's the type of character that we have in the United States. So it's our awareness. It's a lot of, it's just mainly self-identification and our appearance. And then with the sign of Sagittarius, and we're also describing now the sun and the moon is going to be in this sign too. So Sagittarius, some key words for Sagittarius is enthusiasm, it's idealism, it's outgoing, it's adventurous, philosophical, it's freedom loving, it's faith, it's truth, it's wisdom, it's understanding, it's religion. You know, this country was founded on the freedom of religion, remember? If you studied American history. It's also long distance travel. I mean, to start this country, they did travel long distance on these ships. And a lot of people, when they got here in the colonies, they didn't make it. A lot of people died, starvation, et cetera, et cetera. It's also the sign of teachers, priests, and sports loving. You know, the United States is very sports oriented. So, and in values, okay? So now let's look at the moon. The moon has to do with mother, has to do with our feelings. It has to do with moods and emotions, okay? And that also has to do with our values and our freedom and our philosophy, okay? It's also next to conjunct because we have this solar eclipse, which is going to last 6 months. The sun, which is our identity. This is where we're going to shine. There's going to be an emphasis on values and justice and freedom and the truth and faith, okay? And then out here, it's a loose conjunction. This is really a stellium right now with Mercury is how we think, how we communicate, in Sagittarius. It's about our values as well. Everything's Sagittarius. So if you look around and see what's going on with the world today, yes, these freedoms are very emotional. People have changed their values. Excuse me, people don't want to go to work for corporate America anymore because they had a taste of what it was like to stay home. Thank you, COVID. And it's like, I'm not doing that. My freedom's a little more important. And so that's coming to the forefront. So we also have here a loose opposition, which is a tug of war. It's also some stuff beyond our control. Right here is Uranus, which is in Gemini, but it's about sudden information, sudden and unexpected information on a daily basis. I call that the media, probably, you know. And then we also have Black Moon Lilith in Gemini, 15 degrees. That's a loose opposition. However, this is the primitive side of us, the dark shadow side of the United States. Stuff is coming out, you know, the dark shadows are coming out of the United States. So that's basically what I wanted you to see, how amazing that is, that we have the solar eclipse right here, right on the ascendant. So I believe something unexpected is going to happen that affects us personally, the United States. We do have Pluto, Venus in the second house, which has to do with our values, and it is conjunct natal Pluto, which there's going to be a transformation. There's also the death. Pluto is death. It could be death of the government, death of big business, death of corporations, transformation. It could be also the death of money. Venus also represents money. What is it going to be exactly? I'm not sure, but emotions are going to run high because of Jupiter, which is expansion and abundance, and the moon, emotions in the third house, which has to do with information and communication. And, you know, Aquarius is humanitarian. It's groups and organizations. It's looking at the big picture, but people are looking at the big picture, and they're talking about it. And of course, we got to remember we still have Neptune that just went direct in Pisces. This is just confusion, illusion, delusions, being in the fog in the sign of Pisces, which has to do with compassion, mysticism, and spirituality, all part of the third house, which is communication. So I think we're being deceived a little bit because some of the stuff that's being put out there by the media is polar opposite. You get one saying one thing and another saying another thing. It's very interesting. And look at this. Let's look at the whole picture. This Neptune, transiting Neptune in Pisces, is pretty much opposite, you know, which is beyond our control feelings, with more chaos, more deception, illusion in Virgo, and next to Black Moon Lilith, which we're seeing the primitive side of us. So, and that's in the ninth house, which has to do with our values. It has to do with our freedom-loving, adventurous, philosophical part of life. Okay, so that is all I'm going to talk about right now. I just want everyone to really pay attention. And if you have any thoughts as to what's going to happen, please put a comment there, you know, keep it astrological. And but if you look carefully on this grid over here with the aspects, we have a lot of quintiles. And to me, quintiles are, they are help, divine resource help, miracles. So I feel that we're going to be divinely protected, but it's a very interesting time. And if you want to see what's going on in your chart, just find the 12 degrees of Sagittarius, 21 minutes. But I don't know if it's going to be as exact as this. I've never seen this before, and it deals with the whole country. So let's stay tuned, and I will produce another video talking about the Pluto return, because it's far more than I want to talk about, not just the Pluto return, which is going to be a major transformation coming up. And I want to look at all the other planets that are related to the Pluto conjunction. So thank you again. If you like the channel, subscribe, hit the little bell, and you'll get the notifications. And also like the video if you liked it. And if you like to see other videos, I thank you for getting in touch with me to give me ideas on what I need to talk about. So have a great rest of November. And remember, December 4th at 2:41, we are going to have that solar eclipse. It's going to affect all of us, but this is particularly for the United States. You have a great day. Thank you. God bless.